Greetings, magnificent souls, to the Lilli Bewley podcast, where we have open and honest discussions about ourselves. This is your host, Lilli Bewley, and I'm honored to have conversations here with thought leaders, visionaries, healers, and even solo conversations with myself about things I'm currently reflecting on. This is a place where we break down, break away, and break through our emotional trauma, allowing ourselves to be healthy, be happy, and live a peaceful life. We are tired of being sick and tired. We are tired, but we are not giving up. We know that there is something magnificent inside of us. And because we are fighting daily, hourly, and by the minute, fighting ourselves, our jobs, our unhappiness, we have to do things differently. We have to break the cycle. We don't have a million chances. We have to be happy now. We have to find a way. So how do we do that? How is that possible? If you look around at what society is telling you, they tell you that what we're doing is impossible. Yet it's happening every single day. And it's happening through the practice and the love that we call awakening the magnificent soul. We are all magnificent souls, and these are our stories of healing. Today in episode 140, a solo episode today by request from the Instagram community, which is relearning how to love. First, don't forget to let me know your thoughts about this episode or anything you'd like me to cover on future podcasts by dropping me a DM on Instagram. Remember, it is a safe place and I would welcome the discussion. And also a request, if you are enjoying the show, please rate and share and review so we can get the word out to more and more souls who want to heal. And now on to today's episode, relearning how to love. This is a stream of consciousness episode. As I do with most of my solo episodes, I don't really prepare. I kind of just show up and see what comes through. And relearning how to love. Oof, this is again a request from the Instagram community. And I can tell you, I've identified with not knowing how to love or picking the wrong people to love so deeply. And if that's you, where you are right now, and you're really kind of just fed up with what's up, in your life, let's chat about that today. First of all, relearning how to love basically means to me, how do I open my heart? How do I open my heart again and stay safe? How do I open my heart again and trust myself? How do I open up my heart again and pick the right people to let them in or to let in? How do I open my heart again so that I can feel love, deep, satisfying love, connected love, epic love, magnificent love, fulfilling love, expansive love? How do I do that? If you're listening and you've taken the feminine dating archetype quiz, and by the way, if you haven't heard me say this before, I'll say it again. The feminine dating archetype quiz is really a way that I, hindsight's 20/20. It's a way that kind of I identified with my journey. The phases that I went through were the phases that are the archetypes. And where they came from was a reflection of my journey, a reflection and integration of the journey that I see my clients go through. And then finally, a combination of all of the different beautiful modalities and theories out there that have really been impactful to me. And so the feminine dating archetypes isn't just like this made up thing. I hope one day actually to have a study based on this. Like, I don't know, it'll probably be a while, but mark my words here. I'm recording this March 28th, 2023. That maybe 10 or 15 years down the line, there's a study that actually validates all of the experience and the experience of myself and my clients. But what I just want to say, like, these feminine dating archetypes are not a way for me to bring shame on you, but really just to tell you that If you're stuck in a phase, if you're stuck in an archetype, there is a way to move out of that through healing. There's no tips, trick, strategy, or hack that I can give you that's going to make you feel better about dating and about love besides healing. That's my tip. Heal. And so the reason I bring that up, and we're talking about relearning how to love, is that if you've identified with a chill woman, the feminine dating archetype, love for you likely is you love everyone. Like you really, really want love really, really deeply, that sometimes you sacrifice yourself to get love. And so relearning how to love is really for you going to be relearning how to follow through with what you know to be true about yourself. And I know if you're in this community, you know you've done some work, at least 6 months of work and on yourself. And you know you've probably read the books and listened to all the podcasts. You've done all of the how to do the work. You've done all of those, those types of books. And still, there's a disconnect and an incongruence, I like to say, between the thoughts, the feelings, the behaviors, and the actions. They don't coincide with your knowledge of, I love myself, or I am fulfilled in my life, or I am, fill in the blank. So the chill woman really knows how to love really, really deeply, but a lot of times will choose the wrong people and will also choose the wrong behaviors and actions from herself, coming inside herself when she's dating. So there's that. If you identified as the fortress woman, relearning how to love is probably not on your to-do list. Likely, if you're a fortress woman and you're listening to this, and I've been the fortress woman before, learning how, love for you is a deep, deep fear. There's been a lot of pain and a lot of hurt in your life, so much so that your heart is, you've closed your heart for very good reason. And so love for you probably isn't even on the table. So relearning how to love with the fortress woman is going to take some major healing, some major thawing of that frozen heart. And if you identify as the goddess woman, you probably have some really great self-love, quote unquote, self-love practices. You probably do a lot of things that are loving to you. But there's an incongruence different from the chill woman, but with the goddess woman, there's an incongruence between what you think vulnerability should be and what kind of vulnerability you actually desire. There's a little bit of an incongruence on what you're telling yourself versus what you actually want. There's some overriding happening in your system, in your inner world. Inner world, by the way, is not my word. I love Jordan James has been on the podcast a couple of times. That's her word, but I love it, so I'm using it. Shout out Jordan. So with the goddess woman, there's an incongruence between what you're saying that you want and what your deep heart really desires. So the goddess woman probably, really wants to focus on business, or really wants to continue traveling, or just wants to see, what happens in this tryst or potential dating partner. Or I don't want a relationship right now, but you're acting like you want a relationship, or a part of you is acting. And I'm saying this, y'all, with love, because it's important for us to pinpoint where we are having our blind spot, because we cannot do this on our own. That is why I'm here. So I wanted to touch on that with regard to the different archetypes, because I think it's important, because each archetype really, really sees love in a different way right now, and that's okay. The hard but simple answer to the question of how do I relearn how to love is over a long period of time, you remain consistent in the types of people that you let into your energy field, your light, and your life, the types of responses that you give them, the types of boundaries that you set and messily follow through with. It's messy, y'all. Holding up boundaries is messy as fuck, and I get it. Over time, there's this saying that we've heard a million times, you have to love yourself in order to let someone love you. And the more that we are loving ourselves by doing things like getting our nails done, taking a bath, all great things. And then my beef is not with those things. My beef is what we think those things are going to do for us. And do they really come? If they do, this is awesome for you. Do they come from our heart's deepest desire? This takes unthawing your heart should, in my experience and my client's experience, take a shit ton of time. So it requires patience. It requires consistency. It requires grace with yourself. It requires compassion and kindness. When I think about relearning how to love, I think a lot about trust. I think a lot about self-trust, and I think a lot about trust in others. So the only way that we are going to be able to trust the right people is if we deeply trust ourselves. And trusting ourselves, especially after going through bullshit relationship after bullshit relationship, honestly, this hurts, gets harder and harder and harder if there's incongruence between what you know that you deserve and what you're getting on the outside. There's incongruence between, I know I deserve better, yet your energy, time, resources, self, body is being used by someone on the outside of you. So self-love, I think, is really deep, deep trust. And if self-love is deep trust, if the love that you want on the outside, we have to take care of what's happening on our inside. We have to take care of what's happening on our side of the street before we can even meet that person in real life or wherever you're meeting people. By the way, shout out to my episode about dating apps. You can hear more about my experience with that. Just scroll through the podcasts and you'll find it. So if you are really, really struggling with a breakup right now, if you're struggling with a consistent pattern that you're seeing, if you're struggling with self-trust, if you're challenged with relearning, like realizing that your intuition is just off and you don't trust your intuition, my recommendation is to, especially with these different patterns that you're seeing, 3 or more times as a pattern, or if you don't want to repeat a pattern after 2 times, you go, girl, let's go, is to get yourself in a healing container at the level that you can. There are free resources out there. I have a resource out there for $47 a month and you get your first month free. So why not? Because what you need is you need someone to help you walk through the healing process. The thawing process will take some of you and in partnership with someone else, it will begin to develop your skills of intuition, your skills of trust. You will begin to learn how to listen to those kind of those inner that inner conversation that you can hear loudly when you make mistakes, but not so loudly at the beginning. That's what happens during healing. And I wish this on everyone. I wish that everyone, men and women, can learn how to love openly and safely, and learn how to quickly listen to what is right for them inside ourselves. And y'all, it's close for you. It's close. And I know you've done a lot of work on your own, and I can tell you this happens with me, it happens with my clients. The last step is really, really trusting that healing that you want for that next level is there for you. So relearning how to love is relearning how to trust yourself. Relearning how to make the right decisions for you. Relearning how to make sure and align all your thoughts and feelings and behaviors and actions that are all on the same page. It's relearning how to listen to all of the parts of you that are screaming, yelling, or even quiet. That overthinking that happens in the dating process and relationships, the bargains that you make with yourself, and then you break. This is possible. I hope this is helpful. This is what came through today. Hit me up on Instagram with questions. I love you. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Two things. No, one thing. One thing before I go is if you do like the show, I know there are a lot of you out there. It's amazing. I'm so grateful for this community. It's been around since 2018. Please support the show. I welcomely receive any support that you can offer. If you go to the link in the show notes and click on support, you can support the show by giving 99 cents per month. And thanks and gratitude. I'll take $4.99, and there's a $9.99 option. And again, that helps with the energy I expend. It helps with an energy exchange of the gift that I have and the healing that I've done. And y'all it buys me a coffee. I love me some coffee, you know? Don't forget this week, as you go about this week, that you are loved and supported. You are whole. You are full of life. You are an amazing, amazing, amazing woman and human being. And I want to help you live and love in alignment with who you are. And that is why I'm here. Thank you for being here. See you in 2 weeks.